Hey, Coach Cruise fam, what is going on? Welcome to the show. For those of you that are new to the show, I'm your host, Brad. I'm the host of Coach Cruise. And anyway, today we are going to be talking about cruise lines. 4 cruise lines in particular: Royal Caribbean, Norwegian, Viking, and Carnival Cruise Lines. And we're going to be looking at how they've performed in the stock market year to date, because I think we're going to find out something very interesting. In fact, I know we're going to find out something very interesting, especially as it regards to Carnival. Now, those of you that have been following my channel, you know that I've done a series of videos on Carnival since they released their new rewards program that wasn't very rewarding to loyal cruisers. Now, eventually, Carnival did do the right thing by diamond cruisers and said, you know what, we screwed up. You guys, you're forever. You don't have to, once you reach diamond, you're going to continue to receive the loyalty that we promised you and the perks that are associated with that. The problem is that everybody not diamond is not going to receive that. So Carnival figured out a way to make some money, I guess you could say, some wise marketing on their part to be like, hey, you know what? Everybody kind of wants to be diamond. Why don't we create an incentive for them to make diamond? And since we're not going to allow anybody that isn't diamond to be grandfathered in forever, we can have a diamond dash, and we can sell a whole bunch of cruises and get people excited to do this. And then, well, when the time runs out, and sorry, too bad, you're not diamond, right? Well, that has worked for the most part, and there's been a lot of cruises sold out. And when they first introduced this plan, people were furious, they were irate, but Carnival was unveiling some record profits, and all the investors were happy. And the next quarter came along, and okay, yeah, things pretty much held steady. But now that the dust is kind of finally starting to settle, and investors and insiders are starting to look into the news of Carnival, we're going to see some interesting numbers and some interesting data. And that data is not going to be in support of Carnival. Now, one theory might be that, savvy investors are starting to look at the bottom line, and they're looking at the most important thing that Carnival has, and that is their customer. And they're seeing that their customers are not happy, that their customers are saying that they're checking out other cruise lines, that their customers are saying that they're leaving Carnival altogether and going to other cruise lines because they feel betrayed. They feel like they got stabbed in the back. They feel like they were lied to. All of these things. And don't take my word for it. Let's actually look at the numbers. Here we go.
Cruise Coach! Yeah! I love you guys, man.
I just can't get away from a good time.
Coach Cruise, like, subscribe, share. You know what to do.
Okay, another argument for why loyalty does matter. Here are some of the major cruise lines, competitors of Carnival, and let's take a look at them. They're all having a bad day. The cruise industry in general is having a bad day. But let's look a little closer into the numbers since the beginning of the year and see if we can pick up on anything and why loyal cruisers might be an important thing for a cruise line to want to consider when they're, putting forward a plan of making more money. All right, so here's Royal Caribbean, and you see on the day they are down. Again, it's been a bad day for everybody, but let's take a look at their year-to-date. And if you look at your year-to-date, they are actually slightly up. And people have had, for the most part, good things to say about Royal Caribbean and their loyalty to their consumers and things like that. Norwegian is another primary competitor of Carnival. And again, it's been a bad day. They are down 1.5% almost on the day. But let's look at their year to date. Now they're down almost 7.5%. Okay. Then we have Viking, which, again, that's not a primary line. That's more of an upscale line, but you see they're down on the day as well. But year to date, we can take a look at what they've done. And I can tell you for the past year, these guys have really blown up. I don't know what they're doing, but year to date, they are up as well. Okay, so Viking and Royal both up. And then we come to Carnival because some supporters of Carnival have said, like, oh, no, all cruise lines are down or they're all up or, whatever the case may be. But year to date, by comparison to these cruise lines that didn't, kind of betray their loyal cruise members, you see they are down a whopping 12% year to date. And it just happens to coincide with all of the loyal cruisers furious, leaving, booking other cruise lines, saying that they're leaving Carnival altogether. Hundreds and hundreds of comments on my post. And I've been trying to convince the Carnival Beards, we all have been trying to convince the Carnival Beards to pay respect to your loyal cruisers before more and more cruisers leave. It seems that the stock market has realized what is going on because Carnival is the biggest loser among all cruise lines year to date. And I don't think that that's a trend that's going to change anytime soon, so long as Carnival stays insistent on betraying their loyal cruisers, because their loyal cruisers are continuing to book other cruise lines. And they've gone on record on my site over and over again saying how, some of them have cruises already booked that they're going to do, and then they're going to leave Carnival for good. Some have already left Carnival for good, they've said. And then others are saying, we're at least going to look at other cruise lines and see what the best value is for us. So Carnival, congrats, you're the biggest loser.
Are you still here? The video's over. It's time to go.